San Francisco 49ers, Joe Staley, 74, plays during their NFL game against the Dallas Cowboys at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, on Thursday, August 9, 2018. Jane Tyska, Bay Area News Group. Much of the feud over how much rent the San Francisco 49ers should have to pay Santa Clara to use Levi's Stadium stems from a bitter dispute over how the annual amount is calculated, the Mercury News has learned. An arbitrator recently said the team should pay $262,000 more in rent, raising the annual payment from $24.5 million to $24.762 million. The news sparked a war of words between the team and city, with the 49ers accusing the mayor of spinning numbers in the agreement to inflate the victory. The increase in rent is relatively minimal given the large overall amount, but the dispute and the bitter fallout could ultimately damage what is an already tense relationship between the team and the city. A review of the 60-page arbitration award, obtained in full by this news organization, provides the most complete picture yet of the specifics of the fight. The dispute, the arbitration documents show, centered around whether revenue, and what kind of revenue, should be a factor in determining the rent. Ad choice advertising and Red, invented by Teats arbitrator Red Ambler, a retired judge who served 20 years with the Santa Clara County Superior Court, ultimately attempted to strike a balance, siding with both parties on different issues. From the outset, both the city and the team agreed on the end goal, that the payment should cover ground rent, stadium operating expenses, debt service and capital reserves. They also agreed that debt service estimates had decreased while operating expense estimates had increased as of 2015, when it came time to reevaluate the lease. But initial revenue also came in higher than expected, and the 49ers argued that should be taken into account and the rent reduced. At one point the team's lawyers suggested the rent should be as low as $16.775 million. The team also argued that interest earnings on money sitting in reserves should be included. But the city disagreed, arguing revenue should not be considered and that the lease clearly specified only changes in debt service or operating expenses should trigger a rent adjustment. At one point, the city suggested an annual payment of $25.862 million. Ambler disagreed in part with Santa Clara, writing in his decision that the provision does not unambiguously exclude updated revenues from factoring into the adjustment of facility rent. Ambler also admonished the city for arguing against including revenue, writing that statements made by representatives of Santa Clara indicate they at one point understood and intended that updated revenues be used as part of the adjustment process. But the arbitrator also disagreed with the team that earnings on interest should be included. And he pushed back at an assertion by the team that projected revenue from stadium builders licenses, SBLs, which essentially give buyers the right to purchase season tickets, should be included through the end of the 40-year lease, siding with the city's assertion that the two parties had agreed earlier they would assume no revenue on SBLs during the last 10 years of the initial lease. In the end, Ambler said revenue should be used in determining the rent but not from interest or SBLs, and settled on the $24.762 million figure. As is standard with arbitration agreements, the 49ers will also have to pay Santa Clara's legal fees. 80 Quality Auto 360p 720p 1080p. You might also like Saint Scroll back, why some say having more public premium content. HSBC Visa Infinite card holders, our concierge is at HSBC Bank. 33-year-old man dies after crashing into road barrier. Straits Times designing your favorite beer from farm to glass at SolidWorks. How to take advantage of a plummeting stock market. IG Singapore pre-diabetes, a warning sign for diabetes. Health Promotion Board. 5 Burning Man myths debunked. MercuryNews.com. Omarosa releases another recording. Trump hits back. MercuryNews.com. Families of ghost ship fire victims warned that. MercuryNews.com. Ask Amy, I moved 1,300 miles for him. Then this shocker. These Bay Area cities are poised to break into the $1 million home market. Najib denies he called National Security Council meeting to declare. Straits Times. Finally, financial planning. Your life, your way. Finally renovating your home? Apply for a personal loan to borrow up to 8x www.bankbazaar.sg. Puig, Hundley involved in benches clearing brawl. Giants take series from Dodgers. H-1B use skyrocketed among Bay Area tech giants. Here's why Singaporeans are no longer using housing agents. Moneysmart.sg. Ask the expert, is it true I can't get a loan to buy Australian property? The Finder Singapore. The unusual link between eggs and diabetes. Healthierpatriot.com. DMV boss to the rescue. If one real ID applicant body found stuck in California grocery store pillar may belong to future